this is the first time I've given a talk from my computer like this. So this may be a little disjointed, but I'll just see whatever happens, happens. I first was thinking, you know, how sort of where to begin here. I mean, we're all in this just totally unprecedented situation in the world. And I have been aware in the last few days just how the whole situation is just kind of subliminally affecting, you know, everything I'm doing, even though I feel like I can sort of keep going doing things. So that may come out even in this talk. At the same time, in terms of the talk, I thought it's so ironic that, in fact, giving you this talk through the computer, through Zoom, is really what my work has been about. And so this, in a way, is an example of one of the key drivers of my work. By that, I mean, if you just think about what's going on right now as I'm talking to you, and you're taking what I'm doing or what I'm saying, and that I'm supposedly, this is my presence for you as a speaker, I was interested to know sort of what is that affect going on right now? Separate from that, we're just looking to a screen that we're so familiar with, it's like air, and we're taking in the information cognitively, but that I felt there's something more going on here that is new and unprecedented at the time that I started, which was in the 80s, that would be interesting to try to explore. And that was one of the sort of key experiences I had in my early days that I thought I could really commit myself to, regardless of what would happen in terms of my commercial success or even understanding of my work. It was just something I was just genuinely curious about. And that I thought it would be something that would be very new and unprecedented in terms of people's experience in the world. And at that time, there was no computer, there was no iPod, there was no social media. It was just television, a telephone, a radio. But already then, that was somewhat new. You could feel it was increasing all the time. Apple was just beginning as a company. And I was just imagining, what if this keeps going? How is this going to play out? So to try to give you a brief history just of my inner evolution towards doing the work, I actually chose to go to MIT based on what I just said, in that much of the art at that time, art and culture, was placing technology sort of separate and saying this is alien to us. We as artists are interested in the sort of humanistic side of culture, and technology is really alien to us. And I felt, although I could relate to that sentiment, technology was going to be here whether we wanted it or not. And so then I thought we might as well get used to it, and I wanted to go towards it rather than away from it. So even though I could not see an entry into it, I wanted to place myself in a technological environment, or I had the opportunity to. So I actually chose MIT in contrast to Yale just for that very reason, just for the opportunity to immerse myself in technology. That's not necessarily a way one should choose a college, but that's what I had in mind. And whether I was going to become an artist or not, or an architect, which I considered, whatever cultural practice, I felt I wanted to have a feeling for technology because that would influence a new kind of aesthetic. So in being at MIT, I was more interested, I was not into computers, I'm not a programmer, I was, I was interested in architecture. They did have an architecture department, but I also got into media and filmmaking, and I actually considered being a filmmaker. At the time, I thought film was going to be the medium of the future, not painting or sculpture. But at that time, independent film took a long time to get the money, resources. There was no software to edit your films, and that you might wait 5 years to finish the work. And I am generally fairly impatient, and I couldn't wait that long. So I sort of was resigned to doing something more traditional in traditional painting and sculpture, but still trying to deal with the affect of technology. And so I want to emphasize that sense of the affect, so that when I was at MIT, I was really wanting to get what's the feeling of technology when I was surrounded by it and surrounded by people who are really creating the world that we're in. My architecture, my sort of design studio was literally adjacent to Nicholas Negroponte, who wrote Being Digital, and he was creating the first computer, which was the size of a room, as the first kind of 3D software. And the computer that was needed to generate that literally took up a room maybe 8 by 10 feet. So that just gives you a little background of where I was starting.